of functions, we're going to be doing that at the end. That is what's going to be helping us for Monday's lesson, and that's inverses, okay? So, let's look at this real quick. So they're giving me two equations, and they're asking me to do something like this. What does that mean? Do what now? Yeah. It just means add the two functions together. So in algebra 1, it looked like this. That's what it looked like in algebra 1. They just said, hey, add these two together. And you did. So the only thing different between what you learned in algebra 1 and what you're going to learn is that they have a new notation. Okay, f of x, g of x, all that stuff. So since we're adding, we really don't need the parentheses, but I want y'all to get in the habit of it because when you get to subtracting, that's really going to mess you up if you don't put parentheses. Okay? So we combine like terms and write it in standard form. That would be our answer. Okay? So go ahead and do the next three operations. All right, so if we are doing f of x minus g of x, we have f of x, which is 4x plus 5, minus g of x, which is x squared minus 1. If it's a multiple choice test, the answer will be there if you did not distribute the negative all the way through. Trust me, it will be. So 4x plus 5 minus x squared plus 1. So negative x squared plus 4x plus 6. Okay? multiplying the two together, I have f of x, which is 4x plus 5, and g of x is x squared minus 1. And we double distribute, so 4x cubed plus 5x squared plus or minus 4x and minus 5. Okay. And the hardest one you'll ever come across is the division one. F of x is 4x plus 5, and your g of x is x squared minus 1. Can you simplify that any further? I understand we can do x plus 1 and x minus 1, but does that do anything? No. That's your answer.
Really? I don't like that.
You don't like that?
No,
Doesn't seem complete to you?
no.
I can make harder problems if you want me to.
I mean, you're going to anyway, aren't you?
No, actually I'm not.
Not, what, you're not gonna give us harder problems?
Oh,
You usually do, so I just.
you don't know me.
Well, actually I do, but
I'm just kidding.
About which.
I'm not that predictable. I'm just a teacher. This one's actually easier. Whoops, too much. There you go. Do all 4 operations to these 2 functions. Do you have a volunteer that wants to come and put up the addition problem? Okay. What color do you want? Green. remember, you can't put your hand on the board. Who wants to do subtraction? Okay. What color do you want?
I don't care.
You don't care?
No.
You don't have a favorite color?
I mean, no, not really. Nothing like.
How do you not have a favorite
Oh,
color?
I do. I like blue. I just
Oh, there we go. We'll do blue.
don't care.
But I want you to feel good about what you're writing up here and what you're writing this.
I did.
All right.
Bring my favorite.
That's fine. You bring it. Okay, multiplication.
Oh, that's weird. Oh, that's very uncommon.
Okay. What color do you want?
Red.
Red?
Do I just not know how to write on these things? Because this
They're
feels
tough.
very not correct at all to what I'm writing on this board.
I see a 3x.
Okay. I have to write like 40 inches away from where I'm trying to write.
40 whole inches.
Okay, you know what? It's called hyperbole, Dan.
4 feet away.
Let's be sweet.
I don't care. I'm the youngest of 7. Trust me.
You're the youngest of
When
7?
you're the youngest of 7, you kind of learn to just not care at all.
Do that.
Yeah, I didn't say it was a
Okay.
happy
You're
existence. I just said it's mine.
Honestly,
Do you know that my mom is one of 9
I did not know
and my dad is one of 14?
what would you have done if he was like, I did know that?
I wouldn't be surprised because if you know an O'Connor, they're related to me, basically. So,
Also, my mother wasn't supposed to have any children, so that's funny.
I love that this is all recorded.
I don't care. Oh, you have to.
Oh, thank God.
I mean, like, I don't.
He doesn't care, guys.
Oh no, people don't like stories.
I hope virtual is really entertained for those who actually.
I watched it. What? No.
One of 7. Wow.
Like a therapist.
How many boys? How many girls?
4.
Okay, now see what you meant now. Sex.
Yeah, it's, you have to write like a lot of heads.
Because I have to see what I'm writing, and I can't.
Look, that's his math position, so don't like.
Who wants the division problem?
Kylie does.
Yeah,
It's literally the easiest one. You just write one over the other.
yes, judgy hands.
Got him.
That was not the point.
Division problem.
One lame.
Who wants the division problem?
I think Liam wants to go. I think he wants to do it.
I'm a race.
I really think he wants to
You're
do
not.
it. I think so.
Nobody wants to do the division problem?
Liam wants to do it. Liam. Yes.
Lame.
Division problem.
Would you?
Do we actually just
What's your favorite color?
Blue.
Blue. All right.
My favorite color. Liam.
Well, you can. No, the world is your oyster.
Yeah.
If you want blue,
I don't know.
we can do whatever blue you want to do.
Or maybe there's 6
Like purple.
where minus 14 next month.
Don't worry.
I like
You've got whatever you want.
Yeah, there's numbers up
I don't want to call anyone out from here, but people are like, oh, my favorite color is like blood orange. I just. I
Blood
can't-
orange?
I can't. I'm like talking about like not specifically blood orange, but colors
You want
like
that
that.
My favorite
Like, oh,
color
my
is
favorite color is
grapefruit.
default spring.
Okay, now you're good.
This one's
Serene.
It's like it's blue. Your favorite color is
Beige. I like an Eastern beige.
Yeah, that's just beige.
I prefer a European tint.
I don't. The things that I don't care about, I
I don't
strongly
even know what
care
color
about.
it is. That sounds like a
Yeah,
color. That's a
you-
European
You
tint.
care about not
Is,
caring.
do I need to simplify it?
I
Can
have
I even
very
take the negative two and
on saying
no,
that
no.
too.
Nope, that's it.
I would love to listen to that.
All right, so any questions on these four?
Kaden, what's your opinion on sandwich town?
Hang on, we're still learning. Yeah, what's that?
I hate to jinx myself, but is it really that easy?
Yeah.
For now.
Are all of these correct?
Maybe so.
I mean, I'm gonna
That's what I
assume
thought.
just, but that's just because like it's kind of.
I mean,
Are you sure they're all correct?
It's supposed to be
negative
Yeah.
6.
What?
Shouldn't it be negative 6?
It should be a -6.
it was a negative 6. Like, if you look next to the line, it's the tiniest negative sign. Yeah, that's literally.
Welcome to me grading y'all stuff. Y'all are like, it was right there. It was not. Okay, so if you are a visual learner or a color-coded kind of person, this is for you, okay? Maybe get out a different color or write darker, it doesn't matter. But it really just makes it stand out what we're doing. So the next problems are what we're going to be using for Monday, okay? For inverses of functions. So this looks a little bit different. Bog and Goff, okay? Y'all have the giggles today. Y'all have the giggles.
Fox.
Bog
Okay,
and Goff,
so-
sounds like a Borderlands boss.
Am I gonna have to cut you off?
I mean, like from what?
You're right. All right, so what that means, and you will say it as f of g of x. That's what that means, f of g of x.
What?
So if you look at this right here, g of x is literally inside of f, okay? The g of x equation is inside of f, all right? So this is what I mean for my visual people out there, okay? I'm gonna make this one blue and this one red, okay? So, my f equation, if I rewrite this as f of g of x, now can you see g of x is literally inside of f? Just how it's written, okay? Do you remember the good old days when you had a problem where it was like f of 4? What did you do with 4?
Oh.
X equals 4. Because if it was f of x, then x equals 4, and you plugged in 4 for x and called it a day. Okay? Same thing, but we're taking a whole equation and we're plugging it into another equation, which is fine. So what we're going to do, the f equation is 4x plus 5. So I'm going to write that, but instead of an x, I'm going to put a blank. That is 4x plus 5. Okay? I'm going to plug in the g of x equation in that spot. X squared minus 1. Then I just simplify, and then that's it. Okay, so visually it helps to see the two different colors, okay? I'm taking one equation and I'm plugging it into another. What that is going to do for us on Monday with inverses, it is going to prove two functions are inverses of each other, okay? And we'll get to what all that means, of course, on Monday. But that's what we're doing. We're learning just the process of it right now. So that way on Monday, we'll be good to go. Okay? So let's try the next one. This is g of f of x. Whoops. So I'm going to take my g of x equation. I'm going to create a skeleton for it. X squared minus 1. And now I'm going to plug the f of x equation into that. Which is 4x plus 5. Go ahead and simplify that. All right, so 4x plus 5 and 4x plus 5 and minus our 1. So we should get 16x squared plus 40x plus 24. Okay. So we are taking one equation and we're plugging it into the x of the other equation. Okay. So notice there's a difference between f of g of x and f times g of x. Okay. One thing I want y'all to put in your notes too, these can be written differently. These can be written as f plus g of x, f minus g of x, f times g of x, and f over g of x. And it seems simple right now looking at that, but for some reason y'all see that as, oh, so at the end I'm going to multiply by another x. That's not what that means, okay? Those mean the same thing as what's written there in black. Yeah.
Will there ever be more than just like f and g? So like there will be like f of g of h of x or something. So like you'll have to do like multiple equations inside.
If it is, you always start from the middle and work your way out. So if it is f of g of h of x, then you would plug h into g and then that into f. You always just work from the inside out. Good question. But yeah, I want y'all to be familiar with the purple ones as well. Okay. Any questions on the actual composition of functions? I'm sorry, I forgot to write this one up there too. This is g of f of x. Whoops, not a parentheses. Okay, let's try another round. not reverse on you actually. You don't have foil. Do them all backwards. All right, so f of g of x means g of x is literally inside of the f of x equation. So f of x equation is 3x plus 1. Notice how I'm not putting an x there. That's the biggest mistake a lot of kids have, that they'll say I'm taking the g of x equation and I'm plugging it in, but then they leave that x there too, and there it just becomes too much. Okay, so then from there we have our g of x equation, which is negative 2x minus 4, and we simplify. So negative 6x minus 12 plus 1 gives me negative 6x minus 11. Okay. The next one, we have g of f of x. So then our g of x equation is negative 2 times x minus 4. And our f of x is 3x plus 1. So then we simplify, and we get negative 6x minus 6. Okay. Any questions on those? Okay. What if I have the same equations that are up there, but then I ask you to find f of g of 2?
You do it exactly like the first equation, except plug in 2 for x. Or
Okay.
get your final one.
Yeah. So what he's saying is we can do exactly what we've been doing, and then at the end, all I have to do is plug in a 2 for x. That is what you said, right? So then I would have negative 12 minus 11, which is negative, whoops, not 32. Way off there. At a moment. 23. What's another way you could do it? Uh-huh.
Plugging into the g of x, I mean, so I'll give you the 2 times 2.
And then plug that in? Yeah, so what she's saying is I can take just this g of 2 and I can plug 2 in for x. And then use that and plug that into the f equation. Negative 3, or 3 times negative 12 gets me negative 30. Wait, what? Hold on. Did I add something wrong? Oh, I said 2 times 2 is 8. No one wanted to stop me on that?
We were seeing you.
Oh, right. Got it.
Your skills.
Got it. Teacher becomes the student, right?
Correct.
Or student becomes the teacher. So negative 24 plus 1 gets me negative 23. I don't care which way you do it. It doesn't matter to me. Okay? What if I ask you to find f of x? What does that mean?
Plug in that in.
Right. You plug in the f of x equation inside of the f of x equation. Looks weird, but just like we did all of these problems, you'll set up a skeleton, except then you'll plug in itself. Okay? So those are still the same. Well, I can keep going with all kinds of ideas. What if I give you that?
Awesome.
What do I do there?
Two times mathematics. Two times.
I know I have it hidden now.
2 times 3x plus 1 plus 5.
Okay? Don't get distracted and feel like, oh wait, this is supposed to be more difficult than it is. It's not. Okay? So if they have f of x there, you just plug in what they have as f of x. All right? I wish I could say there was more to it. Let's get started on our homework. So hopefully you won't have